Hello, I'm EnterElysium. Welcome back, of course, to Let's Play Aurora 4X, the incredibly in-depth space game. Dwarf Fortress in Space is maybe underselling it. It is interesting. So, right now, we have expanded past Sol. We've got our first colony set up on Mars, which is glorious. There have been some issues along the way, but overall, we're doing relatively well. Now, one of the things that we've got going on is Mercury. We've sent over some automated mines. We've actually sent over 29 of them. However, if you have a look, you'll see they're starting to stockpile resources. But how are we going to get the resources back from Mercury? Now, we can do it with freighters. You can send a freighter to go pick up resources, send it back, pick up resources, send it back, pick up resources, send it back, and it will go on and on and on like that. But the normal and much quicker way, and I have mentioned this several times, is to use a giant mass driver to fling it at high speeds at your planet. Please catch it. Please catch it. So the way this works is you have a mass driver on Mercury. You then would pick the destination. You'd select Earth. And then on Earth, you'd have a mass driver that would catch it. You don't need to change the mass driver settings. Provided you have one, you're fine. There is, I think, an upper limit on each mass driver about how much they can catch and throw. Catching doesn't tend to be an issue, throwing does. If you find you're building up a stockpile of resources, add a few more mass drivers. Eventually, we will probably need more mass drivers on Mercury. But that's not going to happen with 30 automated mines, at least not yet. So we're going to need to take one of our many mass drivers from Earth. How many mass drivers do we have? With 18. Oh yeah, I built loads. Okay, we have 18. We probably need to send one to Mercury for now. If I get my ships to do that... Where's the freighter group? There we go. If I get the freighter group, I think they'd transport 4 because there's 4 of them. So I'm just going to detach the Marseille. Earth, I would like you to pick up a mass driver. Mercury, I'd like you to... where is... Unload mass driver. Earth. Refuel, resupply, and then what we'll do is we'll click the task group button. Freighters, join. So what they'll do is they will take a mass driver from Earth. They will then take it to Mercury and unload it. They will then refuel at Earth, resupply at Earth, and then join the Sol freighter group. So that should sort that one. We'll have to tell the mass driver where to fling stuff. How long do you think this is going to take? Like 3 days? Nice. So if we skip forwards 5 days... Refuel from Colony Earth. Yes, so you have actually dumped it. Yeah, mass drive destination, none. We'll change that to Earth, and what that should do is it should start flinging resources at Earth. If we zoom in, Earth's here, Mercury's here. Let's accelerate like 20 minutes? Hour? Just trying to catch the minerals en route. The thing is, this is a very small distance, so it might not happen when we can see it. 5 days. Please catch it en route, because it will go from here to here very fast. Oh, let's try another day. Oh well, we'll try and catch it later on. Basically, it'll appear effectively like a contact. It'll say mineral packet, and then I think it'll say what the contents are because we've clicked it in our options for display, and it'll be heading towards Earth. You sent the minerals? No, you still got the stockpile. You actually haven't sent any yet. Right. Meanwhile, our ships are basically doing what's expected of them. They're going around, they're surveying, they're doing their normal thing. We're going to go and we're going to do auto turn by 30 days. At the moment, we're focusing on just trying to get a survey going around the solar system. Sol colony ships completed orders, which means that we got everybody to Mars. Okay, we're up to almost 2 million. Our population support by infrastructure is actually only 177. So, do we have any more infrastructure yet? Yes, we've got like 417 infrastructure. That's probably enough to be getting on with. It's definitely enough to be getting on with. So we will grab our freighters. Earth. Load infrastructure. Go to Mars. Unload infrastructure. Go to Earth. Refuel. Resupply. And I'm just going to tell them to cycle. Eventually they will error out because they'll say, I don't have enough infrastructure to pick up. What are you telling me to do? But for now, this should be fine. You know what? Actually, no, let's make it different. Let's actually use a repeat order. Each of you can hold 10 infrastructure, I think. There's 4 of you, so that's 40. There's 400, so 10 trips. So we're doing 1 trip, do another 9 trips. Sure. We won't let them error out. Let's get forward in time. Okay, someone increased a shipbuilding bonus. Oh, I saw Cryo, Governor of the Earth. That's nice. That's going to increase the speed at which we build ships. No doubt for that. Freighters have completed their order, which means that Mars should be fine. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we have up to almost 4 million people, and we have a population of almost 2 million. Yeah, we're good now. We could take more people over on a freighter if we wanted. Thank you. This is a great thing about having Twitch chat when I play, is that when I sneeze, everyone's like, Gesundheit, bless you. Thank you very much. So for now, we're just going to continue exploring, seeing what's in our solar system. It won't be long before we actually start going out solar system, but I want to make sure we have a proper understanding of what is around us. Ooh, we also built the Dirac. And you know what happens here. We've had this before. We get the Dirac out of the group. We then special order, superior formation, Heisenberg, save, go find the Heisenberg because they're not in a normal order because they're listed by their first name. So Heisenberg is under H, and I would like to copy down to the Dirac. Then Dirac, remove that order, and give you an order to actually resupply. There we go. Now, again, this tranche of ships are actually pretty slow. They sadly take a long time to go around anywhere, only, 1,500 kilometers per second. But they're fine. It's a small solar system for now. The Rodgun has completed the overhaul, which means that you should be good to go back out into the system and explore. Yeah. Survey nearest, yeah. So you should go do your job now without having to do anything. Slipway's been added to Everest. So yeah, we've got 3 7,000-ton slipways. Might try and increase them. I'm tempted. I think we'll pass for now. Matterhorn will add an extra slipway on. Eiger, continue capacity expansion. We might hit our mineral limit. No, stockpile's pretty low. Our projected usage is actually saying, look, your projected usage is higher than your stockpile. This is why it's orange. Projected usage is over 50,000, over 50,000, and our stockpile is under 3. Yeah, that's a problem. We got building 1 mines, though, so that should help. Meanwhile, that's fine for now. That's up to that's up to 100,000 tons. That's good. 90,000 tons. Might give you an extra slipway. Nah, it'd be a bit too expensive at the moment. Tempted. Very tempted. But I think we'll hold off. And we will continue the capacity expansion probably until we get to 120,000. And by that I mean I will forget and we'll end up with a 250,000-ton shipyard. Which has its uses. The Curie's completed its overhaul. Oh, mineral packet. Can you see it? There it is. 92 tons. Distance, 206.9 million. ETA, 12... oh, there's another one. Mineral packet to Earth. ETA, 908. It's traveling at almost 50,000... almost 5,000 kilometers a second. Oh, there was a cull. Aha! Right. So, this is something that pros of the game find a bit of a bane of their life, but is very, very helpful. Civilian construction. Mitchell Container Group has launched a new Mitchell Large C3 class colony ship. If we have a look up here, we have shipping line information. Number of ships, 1, Mitchell Container Group. So, this is what we consider to be civilian shipping as opposed to commercial shipping. We have military ships and we have commercial ships. We can control those directly. Your civilian organizations, companies, etc. on the planet, will also build and start up civilian shipping lines, such as the Mitchell Container Group. They've launched their first ship, which has a tonnage of 37,100 tons. It's just started. They've got current wealth, share price, record share price, blah, 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 blah. This is the total number of their ships, and listed here, and then the recent deliveries here. They haven't released done any recent deliveries because they haven't actually gone anywhere. They've just released their very first ship. The reason they've done this is we have our first off-world colony. We've colonized Mars. And it's at this point they're like, there's money to be made. So they've actually started with a colony ship, which is actually fine by me. It stops me having to do the colonization myself. It kind of means that my colony ships are a little bit redundant. But what they will do is they will take a load of people from Earth and then they will take them to Mars. We can stop this when Mars gets to a certain threshold of people. But for now, this is fine. One of the reasons that the pros get very worried when this happens is because one of the things that does cause late game to crawl down to an absolute glacial pace is civilian shipping. Civilian shipping tends to grow and 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 grow until there are so many of them that everything is so slow. But they are very useful, especially in the early game. They can do a lot of jobs for you. And we'll see more about that later. But for now, it is just one colony ship. That will change. How's our money doing, by the way? We've got a surplus, only just. We'll probably go into more details about civilian shipping later on. Maintenance failure. You only just had your overhaul done. Walking in maintenance failure. Fine. Load of survey ships clustered up there. So enjoying the Naval Corps. That's okay. There, you can see this light blue name here, Mitchell Large C3001 Load Colonist Earth. That is a civilian ship. Light blue is civilian shipping. Okay, we completed research rate 320 RP. Very nice. That will very much help. Thank you. And that means our construction production person is now free. What do I want to do next? There are options. Sarum Harvester is pretty tempting. We are going to have issues with Sarum at some stage. Construction rate. I think we'll do construction rate for now. Just because increasing the construction rate is going to really help out. Allow us to get a lot more stuff done. Ow, I didn't give you everyone. Whoops. There we go. And you'll be done less than a year's time. Damn, that 45% bonus times 4 is just so good. Okay. Now, if nothing urgent starts happening, I probably will just cut a little bit out here since we are just mostly exploring our solar system. And, occasionally adding extra research labs as we build them. Nothing huge is gonna probably... Actually, I'll add you to composite armor. Nothing huge is probably gonna happen before we've finished surveying the solar system. unless we get to the point where we start building, new lines of ships or whatever. Most of this seems pretty self-contained right now. If we have a quick look at the solar system in terms of what we've surveyed and what we haven't, bring up the solar system overview. You can see that most of the things we have here are surveyed. Looking down the list, we're still waiting for Jupiter. A lot of the moons, Saturn's moons, but the majority of the solar system has actually been surveyed. So I'm going to cut here, and when we come back, something will have happened, or we'll have had a look around most of the solar system. Well, we completed our, what was it, composite armor research? I think what we'll do is we'll just queue up another one for ceramic, because we've got 30% bonus. That's pretty nice, so sure. It'll take you a few years, but you'll get on with it. We're not going to do shields right now. Shields are not really good in the early game, so we'll start pushing our armor tech forwards. Lighter armor is great. Anyway, back in a second. Okay, so we've just completed our research into construction rate. I think we'll do the Sorium Harvester. Now, the Sorium Harvester is a module that you can put on a ship. And this module extracts Sorium from a gas giant and converts it into fuel. It's 5,000 RP. We'll do it. It won't take that long. And then we'll probably do a couple of other things. Just because we've got someone with such a good bonus, I don't know why we would not. So we will probably get that done in... Yeah, it's going to take just over half a year. Okay. Okay, so it is 14th of March, 2036. This is a very important date because we have just unlocked Magneto Plasma Drive technology. This is a really good engine. This is what I start considering, a decent enough engine to actually use. I'm not a massive fan of iron. I know iron's the first stage where most people start using to go around. I kind of like waiting for Magneto Plasma. We've also got our Sorium Harvester, and a slitway's been added to Matterhorn. So having a quick look at our mining. Oh, look at that geranium stockpile. We're skyrocketing. That's great. Partly because we're not making ships of it. Yeah, I think what we'll do is we will take the opportunity here to just construct a bunch of extra slitways. Actually, I might hold off on you because we might be doing some refitting. No. What if we add 2,000 tons? Yeah, we could probably add 2,000 tons. Sure. You add extra slitway. You continue expansion. I think we might just change that. Add an extra slitway for now. Kilimanjaro, you're fine. Yep, I left Victoria and it's now 250,000 tons. I told you that would happen. We'll make it exactly 250,000 tons. Whoops, I knew that was going to happen. I damn well knew it. We'll add 10,000 tons here just so I can get that up to be 100,000. And we want to increase that, the 40,000 ton one. We'll see. I did call it. I called it down to like, what? What's that, like 0.4%? I damn well called it. Right, research. Now, I know we've been going really heavy on the power propulsion right now. We've got a pretty good reason to, even with only a 10% bonus. At this point, our 10% bonus is enough to stop me. It's enough to dissuade me from thinking about the tokamak fusion reactor. 24,000, if I had a 45% person, I'd put them straight on it. For a 10% person, that's not worth it. That's not worth it in my view. We have mainline to get up to Magneto, so it's time to do a few of the other things. For instance, we can look at, say, minimum power modification. We could look at fuel consumption. We could look at jump drive efficiency. Well, 15,000. Actually, I won't look at that. So, fuel consumption. I think that's probably a good place to start. And I won't put that many people on. In fact, I'll only put 10. The other one we just did was our construction production. I'm feeling maybe shipbuilding rate, maybe more mining. No, we'll do expand civilian economy because our income is actually not a lot above base right now. We're only gaining, less than 500, so and I'll put 10 on that. That leaves us 7. What have we got in 7? Defensive, construction, defensive, energy. Got some missile. Okay, what if we did some missile kinetic stuff? Let's grab... Reduce size launcher? So, yeah, we'll grab this. This is reduced size launcher. The launcher is 75% the normal size, but takes twice as long to reload. These means that your shipboard missiles can be fired less often, but they take less space on your ship. It's pretty reasonable. I always like grabbing a few basic missile ones before we start actually having to get a military ship going. That's all grand. Now, with the Magneto plasma drive technology, we're definitely going to want to look at some of our existing ships. Now, there is a bigger issue here, and that is if we are going to upgrade, like, say, the Hawking, we would have to replace... Yep, that's 43% of the total ship. That's going to take a while. And in fact, that will mean that we can't use what we've used before, which is effectively the same shipyard without retooling, because it's only a small change. This would be a massive change. This would be 43% of the entire ship would need to be removed and replaced. So we've got two options. Firstly, we could just build new ships and leave these ships as they are. That's quite a reasonable option. It would be the cheapest, it'd be the simplest. The other option is that we can do a refit. And instead of just refitting them for the same ship with a mod, we'd effectively be refitting them for an entirely retooled shipyard. We'd have to retool the shipyard to, you know, the new version with this. And then we'd have to switch everything across. That'd be a little bit expensive. The cost would be pretty high. For now, I'm going to err on the side of just leaving them as they are. But we do have over here the Tokyo, which we haven't built yet or actually retooled anywhere for. And we didn't build it or retool anywhere because, quite frankly, we knew we weren't going to be using this particularly early in our campaign. So we're going to remove the ion drives. And now we know we need what? Like, you know, 20,000 tons of drive or something, maybe. However, we can do this a bit smarter. There is a formula. Yep, I'm going to get into maths now. There is a formula. If you want to know the speed of a ship, and you need to know how much EP to give a ship, and you know how much the ship weighs, you can actually use a formula to determine how many EP you need, or alternatively how much weight or how much speed you'll get. Well, actually, Twitch chat being very, very helpful right now has reminded me we have actually unlocked new armor, and because of that, we can replace the armor. If you look here, we've got high-density duranium armor. We unlocked composite, and we're on our way to unlocking composite ceramic. If you ever want to replace your armor, you can't remove it by clicking on it because it's kind of innate into the ship. What you can do is go down here and click new armor, which, if the class does not use the latest armor, button changes it to the armor of the latest type. And we lose 300 tons for the same weight, the same mass of armor. It's not mass, the same volume of armor. Again, the same resistance. I don't know if it's the same volume or not. It certainly weighs less for more resistance, so we actually save a little bit of mass. Not that's going to be that important. Now, the actual formula is, and I'm looking through I keep a little notebook, mostly for RPG stuff, but the actual formula is velocity equals EP, engine power, over mass, times 50,000. So, if we want to find out the amount of EP we need, velocity times mass divided by 50,000. So say we want the ship, the gate builder, to go, what, 1,500? That's 1,500 times its mass. We think its mass, with the engines added, is probably going to be in the region of 70,000. So, hello. We're getting up calculator. So that's our speed, times our mass, so I'm thinking, what, 70,000? And then divided by 50,000. So we will need... Oh, God, that's a really high EP. Is that correct? That might be correct. That's probably correct, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, we need 2,100 EP to get that. Now, of course, we could play around. We could say, instead we'll settle for that as a speed. Maybe the mass would go a little bit higher, 75,000. And then divide that all by 50. Wait, did I do that correctly? I did that correctly. Really? Oh, it's because the extra mass. Extra mass increased the needed thrust. Right, that makes complete sense. But the extra mass would be more engine. Right, there we go. So if we design tech, engine, Magneto plasma drive, we're going to crank that fuel consumption down to minimum. Fuel consumption minimum. Thermal reduction, I don't care. Engine size maximum. This is look at that. It's a massive increase in thrust. That is a lot. Our previous design was 180 EP. We're up to 240. That's a 60 EP increase. That's 33% extra thrust. That's good. So this is a Magneto plasma drive. So this is a C MPD with a 2.5 kiloton and an F of 4.15. Is that the most efficient we can make it? Yeah. Okay. We'll insta that. And if we're adding 10, there we go. We are 78,000 tons, and we are 1,500 speed. If we reduce that engine load a little bit, yeah, we're almost 75,000 tons, and we're almost at 1,400, which is what our calculations said. We could decrease that a bit more. We'd be under the limit. I think 9 engines is fine. So we'll go with that. And at some point, we will start retooling and rebuilding our facility to actually take the Tokyo. In fact, we could probably do that. We can't do that right now. I think there is an issue. So, actually, we should lock that design before I do something stupid. Tokyo. Lock design. We were gonna build the Tokyo here at the Windermere shipyard. 90,000 tons, the ship's 75, it can fit. But instead of doing continued expansion, I am adding 10,000 tons. Luckily, we haven't actually gone anywhere with this, so I can just cancel it. I'm not sure if the minerals disappear because it's a down payment, though. I think it might. It's either they disappear as it adds tonnage, and then if you cancel, you use those minerals and the tonnage, or they're down paid immediately and you lose them. I cannot recall which is the case. Either way, we don't need the Tokyo right now, but what will happen is, once this is done, we will retool Tokyo. We'll retool for Tokyo. It will take no time because it's the first ship ever designed there. The thing is that technically it's still a task. It just takes 0 time, so it would cancel this, despite the fact it doesn't even need to actually do it. It just needs to be told that that's the... It's the way the game works. Then we'll build a Tokyo, and then we'll be able to put jump gates. Now, what a jump gate is, it isn't actually a physical object. It can't be destroyed or anything. It's not a physical object. What it is basically you go around to these jump points and you stabilize them. You stabilize them in such a way that you don't need a jump drive to go through them anymore. Now, bear in mind that you are building on one side. So while you might be able to go through a jump point to the other side, you might be able to get back if there's no jump gate on the other side. So jump gates are one way. You can build them on both sides of the jump point so that you can go back and forth. But bear in mind, you will need to build them on both sides to be actually able to send a ship without a jump drive back and back again. So for now, we're okay. We'll probably just accelerate time. The rotor again has fallen because it's exceeded its planned deployment time. I don't care. I do care a little bit. If you exceed your morale deployment time, it actually affects your surveying rate. Okay, we've added our 1,000 tonnage to Victoria Shipyard. Civilian mining colony has been established on Venus. Excellent. I really want to talk about this. What else have we got? Naval Core. More crew bollocks. Okay. So, A civilian mining colony has been established on Venus. What does this mean? Well, very much like when civilians are like, hey, there's an opportunity to make money here, we're going to build a ship, we're going to send this ship, and we're going to do annoying things with it. Very much like that. The civilians suddenly realize that, wait, transnewtonian minerals are great. They're doing everything. They make ships and industry. We need to get in on this. They will set up civilian mines. What the civilian mines will do is they will just mine stuff and then sell it. And then you will gain, I believe, for each mine, it is 125 monies. Whatever the unit of monies is. The money. So we would gain 125 money. However, you can choose instead to buy the output of a civilian mine. I think each civilian mine is equal to 10 automated mines. Civilian mines are like big. They are big complexes as opposed to each of your mines. That's off the top of my head. Chat is telling me that's correct, though, so excellent. What we can do, instead of letting them sell and gaining us some money, we can go to civilian/industry status, and we can toggle to this. Civilian mining complexes. They have a mining output equivalent to 10 automated mines. Yay! The mineral output from these complexes can be purchased for 250 wealth per year for each complex. There is a single complex on this planet, so the annual purchase cost is 250. Yeah, obviously if there's 10, you'd be paying 2,500. Complexes that send their output to the civilian sector will yield 125 wealth per annum. So we are going to purchase mineral output. So what this does is instead of sending it just wherever, it just disappears into the ether and gets turned into money. We are going to, for double the price that we would get in monies for just selling it, we will get the resources. Basically, we're getting 10 automated mines without having to build them, without having to put them anywhere, but instead of costing us resources to build them and then, tedious putting them in places, it will actually just cost us money. Now, our money isn't looking too good right now. We do need more money. So we'll probably have to do things for that, but we will be gaining a whole load of extra stuff. So we definitely want to purchase the mineral output. In fact, I pretty much suggest, unless you're desperately in need of money, do this everywhere, because this is definitely worth it. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of geranium. It's 0.9 accessibility. That's what they're going to be getting here. We can also then mass driver to Earth. And we'll be able to send all this geranium, some neutronium, some corundium, some galisite. There's not really much. It's 0.1 accessibility. So effectively, that 10 automated mines will count as one automated mine for actually what it will get out of the ground. But, hey, geranium's great. Don't get me wrong. Geranium is brilliant. So we're going to just ship that straight to Earth. And civilian mining level 1. Excellent. Do that. Thank you very much. See, civilians can be quite helpful. They will slow down your game in the late game with their ships, but they have their uses. And you can actually give them orders, well, not orders, but you can pay them to do a few jobs like, for instance, oh, would you mind going over here, picking up some automated mines and dumping them at this colony, or take some infrastructure from A to B. We haven't done that yet, but we will at some point in the future. There we go. Windermere's done. Construction of financial centers completed on Earth. Which means that Earth is now 15% unused construction. We're gaining 21 money. That's not safe. I want to be gaining like 4 digits, not 2. So we're actually just going to go straight back and build more financial centers. Maybe like 200 of them with 15% industry, which is what we've got spare. Yeah. That's going to take a while. Shipyard tasks, shipyard, Windermere. There we go. 100,000 tons. Well, we're going to straight up retool for selected class, and we're going to retool for the Tokyo. Bam. Then we're going to add an extra slipway. And then down here, we're going to construct ourselves the Tokyo 001. It will be able to build some jump gates, and that will give us the opportunity to take civilian shipping, because civilian shippings don't have jump drives. They're cheap. And most of our commercial shipping doesn't have jump drives, but it allows us to take those out system. Now, obviously, we haven't even looked out system yet, but that is probably going to end up being the subject of the next video. We've had a look around a lot of our system yet. I'm still waiting to check if they've actually gone to Jupiter. I know there's a lot of moons of Jupiter. I know there's a lot of asteroids out there. Like, there's a lot to be looked at. I need to close that. Sorry, I've had that open for ages. I need to refresh it. But dear God, they need to have a look there. Yeah. Yeah, they still haven't looked at Jupiter. I might tell someone to go. I might actually just have to tell someone, look, go to Jupiter. Please. Please, dear God. Jupiter. Geosurvey. Not the Curie. I want to use one of the new ones. Saturn. Geosurvey. Because once they've done the geosurvey, they'll go, what's nearest to here? And it'll be another of the moons, so it should be completely fine. We'll get the Schrodinger. And tell you to go to Uranus. And we'll get the Feynman. And tell you to go to Neptune. Right. And they can go do that. For now, though, this is probably a good place to end this episode, so if you have enjoyed, do like, subscribe, all that jazz. Also, feel free to give me a whole load of research. Don't give me research. I mean, if you want to give me research, that's great. But what I was more going for is feel free to give me a comment down below so you can actually give me some details about what you feel about the series so far. If you're liking it, if you're liking like the thing like a metagame, like I decided to do this as a bit of an off-the-cuff thing. If you are enjoying that, that's always good feedback. Let me know what you're feeling about the series so far, where you're headed. If you are finding it as useful as a tutorial, or if you're finding it useful as an LP, like I'm trying to do a hybrid between playing and enjoying the playing, but also trying to explain as I go. If you're finding it useful in one aspect or the other, or you're finding it deficient, or you want me to explain something in particular, feel free to let me know. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to the comments. So thank you very much, and until next time, stay shiny.